Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can.
Yeah, or I'll have to make some tweaks here.
Yeah.
So.
And I need to log into Twitch. I was watching Blue Box and
Yeah, same here.
when they were tinkering with stuff, but then I killed it off.
So I came on today, and they must have done another purge. I lost another 100 followers, so I'm back under 9,900 again. It's just like they don't want me to get to 10,000.
Yeah, they do a purge every time we get close to it.
Yes,
they
it's
go
like,
in and do the special little purge.
It's intentional.
Yes.
Get them.
Yep. When you get to 5,000, and then when you get to 10,
yeah.
etc. So yeah,
Just nuts.
it might be very well be. Yeah.
What's up, Lord Forth? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Bueller?
Hopefully they can hear us.
What's up, Tim? Yeah,
Oh,
good.
good.
I didn't remember if I'd set the right settings to Twitch. I guess I did. Awesome. Very cool. It's a shame that Mike won't be on for the one that he set this.
Yeah,
topic
exactly.
up on.
He came up with the idea. He comes up with so many cool ideas. So yeah.
Yeah.
And his other ideas were great too. So yeah. And then we have my Greyhawk. We need to find someone for that too.
Yeah, we need to put that out in the Cannon Fire Discord chat. I think that's the best way to go for that.
Yeah.
No. I got a couple of ideas. I mean, now that I'm off Thursday and Friday, I think I'm going to be able to get some stuff done. So,
yeah,
game development wise. Let's get out the shout outs here. Boom, boom, Yeah. Fun week so far. I'm glad it's technically work week's over. So that's a good thing for me. And now we're going to have some fun in this discussion tonight. So, wasn't I get all confused on which month is which as far as holiday. I guess Ladies Month, was that last month?
I think it was last month.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
And then we have LGBTQ month coming up in May or June. I forgot which, but it's coming up.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're a little bit late, but much better than never. So yeah.
Well, yeah, and it just Gary Kahn throws a wrench into everything, right?
Yep.
Gary Kahn throws a major curveball into everything we do. So, especially this year, which was cool. Hope everyone is doing well today. Carl, is you working? I know this is one of your favorite topics. Hey, Taryn! Just checking. This is going to be a good topic because I know I stole a couple of yours, and I hate doing that. So, but it's cool to see you hanging. Well, as always, you want to feel free to hop on at work during a break and bring up the street urchin and some others. You're more than welcome to. I'll hold off on doing them till late in the show if you don't come on. All right. free. So I just hit a button, and I'm wondering if I just screwed everything up there, but I guess not. Hold on. Good, that worked. Whew. Oh, yeah, I don't know why that I hit a wrong one there. So you're not busy. Yeah, I wish I was not busy. It's good to take a breath, deep breath here. All right, I'm going to see the Super Mario movie with my son tomorrow. That would be fun. He wants to see it, so I'm taking him to that. Which would be cool. I don't even know what I have. I gotta beat Chuck up. I mean, I gotta get on him, man. I don't even know. Yeah, it's like, where are the ads, Chuck? Give me an ad.
Maybe we have to continue. We had to increase the pressure a little bit. I
gotta do something. Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Otherwise, you say that you increase the number of gift cards to Trollord.
Yeah, well, I do that anyway. So I'd have to really,
you have to, so they have to pony up with more PDFs every week or something until you do it.
That's a great idea, though, to be.
Yeah, tell him that we have 4 next week and 5 and 6 and whatnot. So yeah.
That's really a good idea.
Yeah. They might like it so much that they not give you a new video, though. Yeah.
I think both Blue Box and Mike Disney will be rating in. Hey, Josh. Hopefully everyone is doing well tonight. Said I got a nice 4-day weekend. And because GaryCon wasn't a holiday, right? It wasn't a vacation. At all. What's up, Michael? Oh, okay. If you haven't and you didn't see, you can still pledge. Here, I'll do this while we're waiting. Once I find it, there's the Okram pledge. I did it. A lot of people did. For Luke, who came on Sunday. So. Babbling mood tonight, so I may babble a lot. So, sorry. It'll be one of those nights, I think. Oh, yeah, Tino. Oh, yeah, right? What time is it? 7:53. All right, let's get this entry screen. What's up, Dale? While we're waiting. Get through this into. Get on. Get ahead of the curve. Oh, that's awesome, Tino. Whoops. Up. Jay hit the wrong button. That was me. My finger accidentally hit my stream deck. Yes. Duh. It's alright. We won't have this on for very long. Oh, that's awesome here, Tina. Thanks. Eye patches, masks, and jewelry. Oh, I love the jewelry especially. Eye patches it's all cool. It's all cool, but I really love the jewelry part. That is awesome. Yeah, hitting wrong button before I even started. Jeff, thanks for bringing Chet Mitten into the community. Man, that was pretty cool. That was really cool. You know, that was a nice surprise last night. Here comes Carlos is hopping on. Good.
Great.
Awesome. That's awesome. There we go. Go ahead and add your screen. Stay on as long as you can. Go off whenever you have to. I know you got some.
I will do so. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Alan Grohe may hop on. Eric Menke may hop on, but no, Mike is not available tonight, unfortunately. And this was Mike's topic. So
man, that's too bad.
Yeah, his game night switched. So
yeah.
Are we actually live right now?
Yeah, we're not.
Audio,
we're not on.
Video.
Yeah, we're on the welcome screen. Yeah, we'll be on within a minute or two. There he is.
Right up.
And look, and Chet's on again. Thanks, Chet. Good.
Hey, Chet. Good to see you, man.
Art, of course I'll be there here. Yeah, wonderful.
Great.
Some great stuff.
By the way, since I'm on my phone, I can't see the chat at all. So
no problem.
If people are taking my name in vain, you guys are gonna have to tell me.
Oh yeah, one Malku says hi. Yeah.
Yep. So anyone, if you see works by Dungeon Meister off of DeviantArt, I have permission. Any Greyhawk pictures that they make, I'm allowed to utilize. Just so you're aware, you see these nice full color pictures come up of stuff. Right? Always want to say that ahead of time. All right, live, 4 minutes early. What's going on? Look at that. We got Carlos hopping in. There's a little surprise for everyone, which is really great and good to see.
It's a surprise to me, too.
Yeah, but you're like, this is a great topic. And you're like, absolutely, this is a great topic. And
yeah, it's a favorite of mine.
Mike has come up with so many great topics.
Yep, indeed.
Chet, I want to have you on a show and talk about your stuff. I don't want to just share them. I want to have you on. So we're going to do that. We're going to set that up. Absolutely. Cool. So tonight, on Greyhawk Mike Bridges' topic, we always are like, we're out of ideas. This is number 196 for Legends Lore, and I'm at 242 for Gavin. You never run out of ideas. Never.
Yeah, now we have to start planning for the 200th episode of Legends Lore.
It's only a couple weeks away.
Yeah.
What do we do for our 200th Gavin, Anna?
We had a big DM's roundtable, didn't we?
No. Here comes Mike Disney in. No.
Awesome.
We remember for the 100th we went on for 6 hours. Remember that 6 hour long Gavin?
Yes. Oh wow.
I was in on that.
You were. I had such bad blood sweats that night. My gosh. I remember it. The 200th Wizards 3.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Mike and crew, good to see you all. Exclamation point drawing. We got some reprint giveaways tonight. If you don't have it, I always recommend, number one, I give out the Treasures of Greyhawk, and then we got a whole bunch of other things to add in your choice. Showcanth against the Giants, Needle, Eye of Pain. I got an Endless Stare from Ed Greenwood. That's pre-Forgotten Realms, Country Sites. Got a lot of good stuff. So please feel free to hit exclamation point drawing. You just got to be on to claim that. So, famous females at Greyhawk. Now, we may go obscure too here, because Carlos and I tend to do that, and I bet you Anna will too. But there are some really legendary ones out there. And I guess it depends on what area you're playing too, Carlos, right?
Absolutely. The whole context of your campaign is always viewed through the lens of what part of the Flyness or Earth that you're playing in. I mean, for example, if you're playing in someplace, if you're playing in Hepmona Land, your player characters are going to have no reason to know any of the NPCs from the free city of Greyhawk. So why dwell on it?
Right, exactly. Oh, I just think showing someone how to do exclamation drawing, I entered myself, which is a first.
Okay.
So yeah, but that's okay. I'll just pass on it if it's exclamation.
Awesome.
Eric Jackson, it's exclamation drawing together. Good to see you, Mike. Mike Disney will be playing in an all-star event. Thank you, Troy. It's called.
There's my man. Troy.
Troy, absolutely the man. Absolutely done some wonderful, wonderful stuff. Chain Madness is the name of adventure Saturday night, number 995.
Yeah.
You know, Darling, Heather Hex, Little Bird, Little Bones, Myriad, Mike Disney, and Phantom NJ. I don't even want to know the debauchery that's going to be going on that Saturday. I'm just going to sit back and just let them have at it on Saturday. So it'll be fun. Wow, Wayne, thanks, man. Wow, Wayne,
Oh, wow.
It's good to see you. Glad you,
Yep.
you know, good to see you. Hopefully everything's going okay with your family. I really appreciate everything. Thank you for the support. Should we each bring up a major one first? Cross, what I got you for 15, 20?
I'm gonna say, well, am I going first?
Sure.
Okay. I would have to say the most recognizable female character right now in Greyhawk, given the push that she's gotten, is probably Iglewolf.
Yes.
Mhm. Yep.
Yes. But
For better or for worse, I think that she is a character that is handled better sparingly, but for right now she's probably she's one of those things that Wizard / Hasbro likes to push out material based on Iglewolf / Tasha. For those of you guys who want some background on her, I mean, she's known as the Witch Queen of Perrinland. She really needs no introduction, I'm sure, to a lot of you. She's the mother of Ayuz, the Lord of Pain, who has the Empire of Ayuz in the north central part of the Flyness. She took over the entire nation of Perrinland early on in, I think, about 100 CY, if I remember correctly. No, make that 300.
Yeah,
like sorry.
300, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember my own timeline there for a second.
That's
and,
okay.
Depending on which part of canon that you guys want to believe, she could even be the daughter of Baba Yaga.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I have that in there.
She's got her fingers in so many pies and so many official different. She's been in all the great Gary Gygax novels.
Yeah.
She's in Lost Caverns of Sokanth.
She ruled Perrinland for a while.
Only mentioned in Shokanth, right? Only mentioned.
She's everywhere.
Yeah.
And you're right. She's only mentioned in Sokanth, but what the presence of the Demonomicon leads me to throw her in there with everything else.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She ruled Perrinland as a despot for a while, and so she has a lot of fingers in the cookie jar, so to speak.
She is a fine piece of work. She, if you guys do the Savage Tide adventure path, she's a major player in Savage Tide.
That too.
She's a
that I
big-time
didn't
mover and
know.
shaker in the cosmology of Greyhawk.
We're working on James Jacobs and Eric on for a Savage Tide, whether it's on Gavin or Legends on Lore, because we never have really discussed that in depth.
Yeah.
So,
When he does show up, Eric. Okay, Jay. I despite the fact that we throw up my links so much, I really don't like being self-promotional. But there's one piece of Greyhawk that I do have to take credit for. I met Eric back in the day when he was the editor of Dungeon Dragon magazines, pre-Iglewolf being out there. And he mentioned to me that Iglewolf was going to be a major part of what they were doing. I begged him for a stat block for Iglewolf. And he said, there's no plans. I begged him, standing there. I said, whatever you need, you'll have it. I like to think that I was a major part of that.
You nagged him enough, so you pushed it. Yeah.
Blue Box is coming in now too.
I will take a little bit of credit for that.
That's awesome.
John, Blue Box, what's going on?
Hey, John.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you, and that was a really cool stream you had tonight, John.
That was a good
really
stream.
neat.
Yep.
So
good stream.
Time for Jay to be Jay the Downer. All right, and not in a bad way. Like Vecna, they can't keep their hands off good things. So Iglewolf turns out there's a story in here about Iglewolf and Grazitz. Grazitz is actually listed in the supplement of this, which is one of the things you said as a kid that drew you immediately to this, how wonderful the publication was.
Right.
And then it developed and developed. Now there's a picture of Iglewolf in Return of the Eight. She's scheming with Ayuz, and at the end of Return of the Eight, she shows up and says, I'm gonna take care of you all. And then she becomes a bigger part of it in Expeditions Ruins of Greyhawk. Eric Mona really goes hardcore with I don't want to give it away, but a simulacrum of her. Starts to become sentient, all sorts of stuff. But then it just goes. The the Tasha Egwolf connection is still tenuous, but have at it however you want to take it there as a DM or in your Greyhawk. There's nothing wrong with doing that. What do you think? What are both your thoughts on the Egwolf Tasha connection?
I give it credence. I like the fact that there's a tie between Tasha and Zagig, or Egwolf and Zagig, in that respect. Without that part of it, it kind of falls apart a little bit. And I like the fact that Major Magi like her can even pull one over on Zagig. It gives him a little bit. It humbles that character a little bit.
Right.
So I kind of dig it.
Okay.
Yeah, I worked it together in my version of Greyhawk too, and I really like the connection. It ties a lot of cool things together and gives them more overlap you can play with. I tweaked the motivation a bit with how Grast and how they interacted, but I still keep the timeline straight. But the motivation for why they did certain things are different in my version. But the things happen, but they actually happen in a different way, so to speak. But I really like that. That opened up a lot of new ideas for me in the venue, and it ties in Ayus, Grast, Igvol, Tasha, and so on. So it kind of, to me, it built, and Baba Yaga and stuff like that. It kind of tied things together and made me possible for me to develop that timeline in more detail and stuff. So I really like it.
I am definitely a big proponent of her being the daughter of Baba Yaga.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
I love that. I love that storyline, and that pulls Baba Yaga into Greyhawk lore, which is really
I
cool.
wrote 2 modules based on it, so I guess I must like that.
And Roger Moore's original adventure was really cool. That says it's one of his favorite Dragon publications ever. So it's really a wonderful overall.
Yeah, what I've
community
changed in that story is that I made Grast he's not the prisoner, he's the instigator together with Igvol to get the thing going, so to speak. And then he plays prisoner in there to help Igvol and do it. So they were partners in crime in setting this up, so to speak. So he's, and then they had a fallout later, and then things came to be, so to speak. So he's kind of the one that set it up and recruited Igvol in and help her, saw her potential, so to speak, and started doing it. And Ayus was the outcome of their scheming and plans and stuff like that. So
I almost regret that Alan wasn't here to talk about Igvol. If he's to me the leading scholar on our dear Wilva.
My guess is what will happen there, Carlos, is that you will log off and he'll immediately hop on unbeknownst. Right? It just seems to work that way sometimes. I did invite Alan on with us missing Greyhawk Mike tonight. It was really good to see.
Well, you also have to understand Alan is a little sick right now, so
yeah, he's getting over COVID. So unfortunately, I mean, I was sitting like within 2 feet of him on that Sunday night, and we were sitting there just at Gary Connor's chat.
Oh yeah, we met. I met him many times and talked to him and stuff. So
Mike, the raid went through. Your raid went through, and also Blue Boxes. Thank you very much. As the community always comes up big and strong here, and we really appreciate it as we kick off our week here. 4 streams this week, so we got a lot of fun stuff. The only night I'm not streaming is Friday. So so we got Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. That's a great one to start off, Carlos. So Anna, give us a big name.
I'm going to now, when we've been up there in the near godhoods and whatever, I want to now bring it down to earth a bit and take someone that I think deserves more cred than she's gotten in the stories, and I think could be really useful. And that's Ballistica of Ernst. She's a renowned wizard in her own right. She's 14th in Living Greyhawk Gazetteer, and I bumped her up to 15th level in my campaign on the way to be 16th level. And she is she's the ruler of Ernst, and she's very powerful in secret, so to speak. She's someone who, in my version of Greyhawk, understands the diplomatic game a lot, so to speak. She's the one building alliances, using a lot of these kind of cool tools to befriend other rulers and build kind of connections and stuff like that. And she's also unmarried and not too old, so she's one of these hot takes in the world of Greyhawk, so to speak, and she uses that to her advantage. She has a bunch of suitors and stuff, and she doesn't want a lot of money from them. She wants political concessions and build alliances and whatever, and can backfire at times and so on. But I think it's interesting to have a female political instigator, not on the evil side, but on the good side.
We tend to think, when we think of female rulers in Greyhawk, people tend to think of Lady Evely from
exactly.
Rabbit,
I was going to have her later on, but this
I think Belliska I think she's much more accessible in terms of people's individual campaigns. If they wanted to run a Greyhawk camp, I think she's much more usable than Evely.
Yeah. And also, now speaking of Evely and Belliska, I think one of the differences is that Belliska is the smart one of the two.
Yeah, for sure.
Evely is have maybe wisdom reasonably and good birth and height standing and enormous charisma and looks beautiful and all these kind of bits. But so let's get her. But Belliska, I think, is the smart one, not necessarily the most beautiful, the most charismatic, and so on, but definitely super smart, super sharp, and probably super high charisma. Those are the two: intelligence and charisma. That's what I have with Belliska. I mean, she knows the game inside and out, and she thoroughly enjoys throwing parties and discussing it, and knows who to help and who to thwart a bit, and so on, and can probably have some sharp elbows if need be, because she lives next to Ayus and stuff. So she knows who to. She's probably one of the rulers that funds significant resistance within Ayu's realms, but not directly, indirectly, so to speak.
I think her coin purse it's very important, because not only is she funding all that stuff, but remember, Niron's her neighbor over there just to the east too.
Yep.
And I think, considering the almost near fall of Niron, I'm pretty sure the county was one of the county of Ernst was one of the major backers to make sure that Niron didn't fall completely.
Yeah,
I'm sure that Linward owes her quite a few favors.
Where's she published? Is she published in Marklands?
No, she's living Greyhawk Gazetteer.
Okay.
She's in several places.
She's in previous places as well, so to speak. I think she's of House Geller, if I remember correctly. So
cool.
And also I have
like Fort Geller.
No, yeah, and Geller from the Gord books. I think she's a relative of the Bard in that one. So she's probably maybe of Flan descent originally, but I also have her that she is the one instigating a union between Ernst and Niron and stuff. If she can just marry Leonard and get enough of power so she can be, because she's younger than Leonard, her ambition in my campaign is to be the queen ruler of a Niron Ernst united, so to speak. That's where her real ambitions are. But she doesn't want to marry Leonard if it means that he will be king and she will be kind of her just a placeholder sitting beside him.
I'm sure Duke Carl really enjoys that idea immensely.
Yeah, so some exactly. So she has some idea. She will get to. She wants to join the league of empresses, so to speak.
Wow.
And so that's her
way more ambitious than I do.
Oh yes, she really wants to be up there, so to speak. And but she wants to do it fair and square, but she's smart about it. But she has maybe a decade or so to work on it. So she's in the middle of this now and so on. So
I bet you can make you both laugh.
Yeah.
I love hearing all this, because it's on the side of the map I don't use.
Okay, yeah, so you don't have to worry about it. Yeah. But barely on the side you don't use.
I just thought that would be funny. But that's it. I have an obscure one for you, Alice. Yes, absolutely, David. We can go to her. I have Greyhawk Adventures primed. In fact, hold that, and I will go here first, and then we'll go there. Let's just get a Clavdra out of the way. Okay.
Oh yes. Good one.
I promise no fighting on who the hell she worships and who the hell. Let's just forget about that for the time.
I don't think she worships anybody but herself.
No, that's a distinct possibility.
That's I think she's powerful enough and narcissistic enough. She doesn't care about anybody except herself. But she could pledge allegiance to whatever needed in order to advance her own interests. That's where I have it, Clavdra. And so she can work for others. I have her as a political consultant, so to speak. She's the one that can help others to promote their interest as long as it fills her interest as well. And then she's ready to backstab whoever. She's like a mercenary, but in diplomatic political circles rather than on the battlefield itself. And someone, if you want to have your message sent across to a demon lord, to the Asmodeus himself, if need be, you can hire her and she can do it for you.
If you want to end up wearing the entire cutlery drawer in your back,
exactly, and then you need to
reach out to her.
Yeah, exactly, and you need to worry for the rest of your life if you don't pay her well, so to speak. And she has really demands. She will need more than 20 pounds of flesh, so to speak,
like I always say, the devil always comes to collect.
Yep. And that's my idea of El Cloudra. She's climbed high enough that she's one of these power players in the universe now, kind of like Igvolv and others, but she hasn't fallen yet, so to speak. She's only climbed slowly and steady and a little bit up and down, but she's still up there, so to speak. Powerful, charming, and devious as hell, so to speak.
The only time, now remember, she's in G3 to start, and then she's in D3, and you go from there, and then just it snowballs with different authors beyond.
And she's cool, just like Igvolv. She's also nestled into the Greyhawk lore in multiple ways, which I like, so to speak.
She's a very important player in the Gygax novels.
Yep. And she ties in with Grast, she ties in with Ayus, she ties in with Lolth and the Drow, and in the Gord novel, she's one of the ones that looking for the Theor part and stuff like that. So you can have her kind of poke into almost any nasty stuff, so to speak, in that sense. Yeah.
Very diplomatically put there, so we don't have to go into that argument you and I have every time. We don't need to go there.
No, and you can play her a little bit, and you can also write her history back and tweak her. Yeah. Who was she really loyal to or not? That can very much be what you tweak in your campaign. And so she served Lolth, she served Grast, she served Ayus maybe to some extent too, and who she was really loyal to or not, that's up to you. You can kind of tweak that. Yep.
I'm asking you, David Leonard, what page is she on in Greyhawk Adventures? Alish Marin. And I think I forget what page she's on. I'm looking here. Another good one. Should be up front, right? No, these are the deities. So David, all right. I'll say this in my game years and years ago. One of those, page 45. Thank you, David. Thank you so very much. That's a good one. There's some other good ones in here too.
Yeah.
Member First Order Scarlet Brotherhood. So this is as we go after round 1, which was really high. This is a second tier. You really need to know your stuff to know this character. And David, thank you for bringing this one up.
Sisters something,
Yeah. And so, she was. This is one of the Scarlet Brotherhood's breeding program children. So that generationally, and she's a monk. If you're not a monk player. But there's things that can be done to make that change. But so she is Stoink, right? She's in Stoink right now. Is that where it is?
Stoink?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least she's not aware former head barmaid was Sister Good. Yeah, I believe that's where in this that's where she's located currently. Her ultimate ambitions range far beyond becoming first female father of obedience. So that's pretty lofty.
Mm-hmm.
I guess every single member, Carlos, of the Scarlet Brotherhood thinks they're going to become the leader of the entire, and that's the whole catch-22 of the entire.
Well, nothing marks the soul full quite like ambition does, right?
just ask Rich, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But a real good one there, David. Thank you.
Even their dogs are ambitious.
Look at that. She has a ring of 3 wishes. Ugh.
Yeah.
It's pretty nasty to have that. So really an evil character. Lawful evil. Hey, Gary, what's going on? So appreciate that, David, for bringing that one up. A good obscure one.
Yeah, that's a great one.
All right, Carlos, while we still have you at work, throw us out one of your favorites.
Well, there's this one you guys might have heard of.
Yeah,
Her
you
name is
have to.
Marquesa.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you. I was hoping that
Yes.
you
I got
talk
multiple
about.
pictures of
I've
Marquesa
never heard
coming.
of her, but I just heard that she was important in the setting.
You made me hear about her.
Multiple
So yeah.
pictures of Marquesa and her
You
duplicates.
introduced me, Carlos. That's awesome. Yeah.
These are all
Thank you.
Marquesas.
Yep.
Marquesa is kind of like the best way I can describe her is she is the Dr. Mengele or the Dr. Moreau, depending on which you want to go with, of the Greyhawk setting. She perpetrates the most inhumane and the most horrific visits the most horrific experimentation on people and creatures that you can possibly imagine. An encounter with Marquesa should be pure nightmare fuel.
She is not, and she has no excuses. And I'm not saying this in a wrong way, like she's not dark elf. She's a high elf. She's a full-blooded
Yep.
regular surface elf
Yep.
who just is bad, who's
Yep.
gone really awry.
The way I view her, Jay, is she learned a lot at the heels of her former masters and things like that. I think she is not evil as much as she is absolutely cold and unfeeling and has no conscience whatsoever.
It's not,
Because I think she is just so deep into the notion of forming flesh and creating whatever
sociopath,
of playing God surgically and technosurgically, or excuse me, arcanosurgically, that she just is beyond morality now. She's completely immoral, and which makes her perhaps even more monstrous than if she was just evil.
Yeah, there's another level of vileness for her beyond a lot of the others. I mean, she is she neutral evil, pure neutral? I think she is.
She is.
Yeah,
She's
she sounds
evil.
very neutral evil to me. He doesn't. She doesn't care more
she's
than
neutral evil.
Yeah.
Carlos wrote three adventures and then a fourth that's beyond that. So,
yeah, we had to. If you play through Carlos Adventures, you have to kill her many times over, which is
right.
Yeah,
and
she first showed. In fact, the very first module I wrote, published for my company, was called Kill Marquesa, which I released to maybe even a lot of you that are out there in the crowd right there played in that initial Kill Marquesa game, and it was so popular, and Marquesa was just so vile that everybody wanted another shot at her, and she escaped a second time in my module, Die Marquesa Die. And then finally, the last one was called Marquesa, Thy Name is Evil, in which the player characters got a really good crack at her, and they managed to finish her.
Yeah.
So if you want her stats as of the Slavers reference, she's here somewhere real near the end. There's Kellen Lekos. There we go. 12-13 fighter mage multi-class, the old school multi-class. So
with a short sword of speed, which enables her to go first every round, which is very important.
Oh, yeah, it is a short sword. It has similar speed.
It's a short sword, not a scimitar.
Nice.
Come on, Jay. I'd know.
Nice. Want a polymorphing too. That's great. So I will say that I've said this 100 times, Chet, since you're on and have never heard this story, I will say it once. This artwork, I met Wayne Reynolds at Gen Con when he was at a booth, and I said, Wayne, the original, I don't care how much it is, I want this. This is my favorite picture. I mean, you can actually see this guy had his face redone, right? And you can actually see the scarring from where she plucked out the melted face from the Black Dragon and put in this other guy's face, her bodyguard Devin, right? And he said all that stuff got destroyed in the changeover. That my heart just sunk. That there are no.
Jay, Chet has drawn her twice for me.
Nice.
Chet was the one who did the cover for Kill Marquesa and Die Marquesa Die, in which she is on both covers. So
cool.
Yeah. So, if she has clones that she's created. My campaign there are 4. In the Slavers reference there are 3. There are pictures of 2 of them. I think I have them up. Marquesa the Gold is the most powerful, right? Actually, no, there are 5. I am incorrect. Marquesa the Black, okay, who's in the Savant's Tower. Marquesa the Red's in the Slavers Cove. So that's 3. Marquesa the Green is the one that's wandering about the I think she's a druid mage. Her name was Miquelon, and she's kind of she's in my campaign actively now. And then I made up when John Birchfield was in my house in an adventure last year, I made up a Marquesa the Silver who attacked the party. Yes, so those are all the clones in my campaign. Carlos
Yeah,
just.
she loves doing stuff
Hey,
like
John.
that. And in fact, Jay, you ran last year my thicker than water game in which Slippery Keta is actually the main from the Slave Lords, who I would have talked about next probably. But Slippery Keta is actually guarding a clone tank with Marquesa in it.
So
Her deactivated
Yeah.
I
clone.
ran the preludes for it, Carlos. I haven't
Oh,
run
oh,
it
oh.
yet.
Oh, okay. I thought you actually ran.
No,
the
I
game.
ran
Sorry.
I'm setting up this big prelude thing. I ran it over the holidays, multiple tied in Blue Bay, tied in all the connections and stuff. Oh yeah, we're getting ready to ramp that up, man. Oh yeah, it's gonna
Yeah,
be
that
awesome.
adventure
Great
is
adventure.
pretty mega. There's
Thanks, John.
a lot of
Yeah.
room in that one.
Yeah.
Speaking of clones, let's mention one Eclabdra clone, Leda from the Gord novels. That is like
Okay.
a good version of Eclabdra that is
Mhm.
in the Gord books, which is a cool character. She kind of dies and disappears at the end when the books, but that's a spoiler. But if you read it, when the whole world goes up in smoke at the end, but she's an interesting character that you can use in your games if you want to. She's
Absolutely.
El Klebdak clone. Yeah.
So let's go back to Greyhawk Adventures because David mentioned another one here.
Yeah, we have there was one that was on my list, but
Chisel and Sand was on yours or the other one?
No, the other one.
Let's do the other one first here, if I can.
Okay.
I think she is
from Snafu mentioned.
yes. Is that how you say it? I think I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? Yeah,
Juliana Mortidus.
Yes.
It's I don't like the name much at all, but I like the character. Yeah, we don't know much about her, but she is one of the Horn Society hierarchs.
That's
of
another
the Horn
really
Society.
nasty piece of work right there.
Yeah. We don't know hardly anything. I think she's just listed at one of the hierarchs. That's about it. I don't think we have any information on her whatsoever. But
we have a little bit of her background in Greyhawk Adventures.
Okay.
Yeah, right
awesome.
here we go.
There you go. Fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, I need to look at that.
Born to members of the Horn Society, her mother was an evil fighter, her father was an evil priest. Not a popular pupil. She's just, so, and it tells the story about, she's a clerical advisor to the Horn Society, and then she found a ring of human influence in the Shieldlands, because, Shieldlanders always carry stuff that the bad guys always get, right? Just Shieldlanders are the punching bags of the entire Flaness, right? And a talisman of pure evil. One of the most unbalanced items in all of the history of D&D. I'm going to tell you why. First level evil priest has a talisman of ultimate evil and sees a 22nd level lawful good priest walking down the road. You activates the talisman, opens up a hole, swallows, gone, no save. Correct?
I would have to go if we're going to go unbalanced items. Give me a ring of the rod of beguiling.
That's as well just as nasty. No saves
that
on that
one
either.
Because that one at least with the talisman, you only got evil priest. The rod of beguiling, that's ridiculous.
It is.
Come on now.
No. There's a lot of items like that.
That's anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. But the talisman of pure evil and ultimate good are both really nasty. Banned in my, or seriously modified. But she is, she's a thin, slatternly woman with stringy brown hair, weak features, bad teeth, and faded blue eyes. Sounds like my normal date on a Saturday night. I'm just kidding. My wife, is would be laughing too if I said that. So just please note it was all in jest. She has a spy network, and here it is. This is pre From the Ashes, so we don't know what happened to her from the ashes, do we?
No, I don't think so.
Yes, we don't know if she has disappeared or not in the From the Ashes era. So
we don't even know what she's a cleric of.
Well, yeah, you never know what Horn Society clerks are clerks of.
Yeah,
I thought that they revealed that she was a priestess of Nerl.
That's what I would have her as too. Yeah,
I thought it was Nerl.
Yeah, either Nerl or maybe Grast. Yeah, or someone. Yeah.
I don't.
Someone part of the Ulflan cultist. She's like an Urflan living today. Urflan.
I don't think it says here, but it could say somewhere else. Gary, do you know? Or
I'm
David?
90% sure that it's
I would
it's,
imagine it's Nerul myself.
Nerul is, I
or
think,
one
is
of
the prime
yeah,
candidate.
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So cool. Yep, David. The Dewey
You might have
Carthix is
fled.
awesome with this
Yeah,
stuff.
and now we can have her. Meaning, when Ayus took over Molag, then you can kind of bring her into the story and have her flee or secretly stay or whatever. So yeah.
By the way, not all females that we're showing are evil, vilely evil. Okay, no matter what you think about all the antitheses in my campaign. Right, they tend to be like all the
I
Brotherhood
mentioned
members.
Ballistic. I started that way to start good, so to speak, and we have, but there are plenty of evil ones. So there's more evil than good ones. And
well, the next two I was going to mention were both good. So
here's a good one. Now this one is even higher level From the Ashes, and the reason I bring this one up is because published source, there are very few priests of Tritherion that are super high level. Now, in this, she is dual class human fighter 7, fighter 7, priest 9, but I think From the Ashes she goes up to 12th or 13th. And that's Janzidur, priestess of Tritherion. 37 years old, intelligence of 7, which shows you that even in Greyhawk, if you're not of a high wit, you can still get pretty far. And she is extremely kind of good.
Is that from box set?
Box
set.
And there's an update for her From the Ashes as well. Yeah. So,
great character.
Yeah, great character. And the only reason I bring, like I said, the main reason I bring her up is Bill, the Master Crafter's character, Trevin. He always says he's the highest, especially priest of Tritherion, period, in my campaign. I always point out Janizur's a level higher than he is. So it drives him crazy. But look, she has a great dislike for the Church of Foltis. This is before From the Ashes turned them into lawful neutral fanatics. Right? This is before that time frame. So there you go. All right, that was one for me. Carlos,
they should be chaotic, good fanatics. That's what I have.
Well, I really kind of, for some reason, I have this burning desire to get super duper obscure and drop Kaerwyn from Beyond the Crystal Cave on you guys, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to go with Fiorana Australia from the City of Greyhawk box set.
Yes,
the former ambassador to Nairon. And,
so
I think she's a really interesting character.
She's in Greyhawk from the
not
Ashes.
Necessarily from the Ashes. I mean, not in the context of from the City of Greyhawk, but I think she becomes even more interesting when the war starts, when she drops away from being an ambassador and is actually kind of coordinating aid over to Nairon during the war efforts. That's when she becomes really interesting to PCs, I think.
Okay. So, is she in the beautiful people section or in the miscellaneous section of the Greyhawk official box? I always forget. But
well, she should be in the beautiful people given her description.
Yeah, let me see if I can find her. Because one of my favorites there too, and and Carlos knows she's not dead in my campaign. So the one we're talking about. But let me see if I can find her. The beautiful people section, which is I think chapter 8. Sorry, everyone. I love to show where you can find everyone the stats on most of them because it really helps get a perspective on. I got to go to the second book. Yeah, it should be in this one. And now you see why we love this Free City Greyhawk. Carlos and I love this Free City Greyhawk box set so much. It's just because for all the rest, we'll get to her. I don't know if she's
Carl Sargent had a real gift for creating memorable PCs or NPCs, I should say. A gift. Yeah.
If anyone can point out what book on what page she is, so I'm not scrolling about here.
Jay, I should probably go right now. But
Carlos, thanks. So
here,
do you want to talk about Krista?
Female characters in Greyhawk. I want to bring up so bad people like Sharnlanem and Karastine and people like that. So I have
Karastine set. I can do Sharnlanem too with the tier. Yeah. I love her too. I can handle
them.
I
mean, there's so many great female characters. We tend to think of the Floodess and Orth as being distinguished by so many of the notable male characters in there. But heck, we haven't even brought up Jalarzi yet.
No, we
So
haven't.
I mean,
We haven't. And
I mean,
Jalarzi,
we're talking
I'm sure
about
that
some
is
of
on
Greyhawk's
Jay's list. Yeah.
most biggest movers and shakers are, you know, they're the staff members of the setting. So don't
Carlos, I
ignore
know
them.
you got to go
Sure,
back to work.
they're
Thanks.
amazing characters.
Thanks for hopping on, man. Really appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thanks, guys, for having me. I'll tune in the background, but I just
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
Real work
take it easy.
calls.
Thank you.
Duty calls,
Bye.
man. So good to see you and thank you.
Bye.
See ya. Yes, the Despotrics of Hardby. There's a lot of other. So we're going to be
Yes.
all over the place, bouncing all over. Carlos brought up some great ones. He said Sharnalem, and then oh my god, who was the other one he just said? Oh my god, my brain just shut off.
I forgot to, but yeah.
Sharnalem is in either Marklands or Eyes Evil. I think she's in Marklands. No, it wasn't Celestine. So Karastine. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Karastine. Well, so you probably have heard the joke 100 times that I can't. That one of my most angriest I ever was at the Living Greyhawk world was Karastine's castle getting obliterated and her getting killed in Living Greyhawk. I'm like, you killed my Karastine because she's such a great character, and she's a paladin. They actually Karastine and her troop appear at and there's another big one for me right there. I just went by Bladestorm. We'll see if we can get to her too. This is where a lot of the heroes. There's I just hit Philidor. So Karastine's further up. Karastine is a paladin. She has a whole troop of individuals, and I think I even let me do this the easy way, Anna.
Yeah.
I have a complete roster because I use them. And you may all know that in the joust, one of her. Here we go. Here's her group. Right, there we go. There's Karastine's. I'll flip it over to here. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah.
There we go. Yep.
So, Gasherin Haflorinus has always participated in the jousts. And is always like ranked 14th, 15th, or 16th there. And normally one of the late signups for Virtual GrowCon's joust gets stuck with him, like Alex or someone. Hey, so be it. But he's always in. It's kind of like and that is Cheyenne Stormhand's like boy toy. And Barra is actually another female here. She is a polymorphed gold dragon. That is her parents have given her to Karastine to
see that you like that. That you do that too.
Get the world. Understand. Gary, that's not. This is our Greyhawk. Half elves and half orcs are going to exist till the day I die, no matter what anyone says. Right? I know you're being facetious, but yeah. So a great list here. You got a lot. Look, you got 4 out of the 7. A good one. What class? Specialty priest. Specialty priest of Farlang. Specialty priest of Farlang. Yep. Remember, it's just a lot of 2E stuff going on there. So. It's Anna Meyer, famous female Greyhawk, of course. David, of course she is. Not all these survive. One does. Thanks, Dale. One of this whole list survives. That's wonderful to hear.
Okay, that at least something survives.
At least something survives. That's great.
Yep.
All right, Anna, who do you want to bring up?
Well, I have a bunch of dragons on my list, so let's start at the top. And this is questionable whether it is a female or not, but I want to. She's female in my campaign, and that's Dragotha. I think she's originally written as a male, but I like her much more as a female dragon, so to speak, because I think the name sounds, Dracolich, and now pseudo Dracolich or demi Dracolich in my campaign even, and that doesn't make her less dangerous, rather more dangerous. And I just wanted to mention Dragotha because I think it's kind of cool that you have and I have her for 2 reasons. First, the name sounds more female than male to me, and also that I think in my campaign female dragons are nastier than and more powerful than male ones. Just like the birds of prey, the raptors, the female raptors are bigger because they need to be able to carry their eggs when they fly. So that means that they are bigger and more powerful. So I have not all dragon species, but most of them are the females are bigger than the males. and so I have Dragotha is in some ways probably the most powerful female dragon in bar one, and we have another one that we need to mention, and that's Tiamat, meaning the
Yeah.
ultimate female dragon that is the queen of evil dragons, so to speak. So those are the top of my list, and I need to mention one other that I made a dragon because we made. You talked about the one at Karenstein being a gold dragon. I have one, and that's Katarina Woolworth, the leader, the commander of the Shield Lance. Yeah, I have her as secretly a gold dragon in my campaign because Hieronymus is an aspect of Bahamut in my version of Greyhawk. So she's a secret send out to so Bahamut's made sure, or one of Bahamut's protectors, Arkail, sent his daughter to play a part in the session, and she's a gold dragon, so she could learn to be a paladin of Bahamut, meaning Hieronymus, and so she sent first to the like 300 years ago to the then Earl of Walworth, that is the grandfather of the one that died in the war of or grandfather something, and she ties into that, and then she served in Furundi during the war, just like in the official history, so to speak, and she became the marshal of Furundi during the war and against Ayus, and she did a lot of dangerous operations and stuff. But she was also Belvor's bodyguard when he was young, so to speak. So for many years leading up to the war. And now she's a 20th level paladin, and she's the commander of the Shield Lance. And so she's kind of bringing that up, and she basically takes on any job that requires to fight Ayus, and she's keep doing it, so to speak. So that's one of the most powerful in the same mold as Karstein. She's a female, very much like the Golden Knight kind of thing, so to speak. So I want to have her, as she's one of the most powerful in my campaign from when it comes to female NPCs that I've ever had in any game.
Yeah,
I kind of tweaked her.
I'll say, as far as that in mine, she's human, which is no
Yeah.
big deal.
Mm-hmm.
She's part of a triumvirate of rulers of the Shieldlands. One
Yeah.
of them is Marco's character, David
Mm-hmm.
Gradavis. Her, and the third character who Sergeant killed off,
Uh-oh.
Lady Valderessa Sharn, right?
Ah, yep. Mm-hmm.
Right, and so from the Free State Grok box set, one of my favorite PCs of all time. We'll get back to Estrella. Estrella's another one if you have her on your dragon list. I'm not sure if you do, Anna. But
No, I don't have her on
yeah,
my list. No, that's good.
She mentioned special place because I used her at Gary Con. All right, so Valderessa Sharn, Paladin, 9th, 6'1", big, right? And is a Knight of the Holy Shield, and this is in that flux period when who did the Horn Society ever conquer that, and then
there was a little bit of I had
Yeah.
that they conquered at least large parts of it, not the whole thing, but large parts of it beforehand, so to speak, and that was a move to lead up for the Greyhawk Wars. Yeah.
Lots of bizarrities there. And then Artur Jakarta, who she's with, he survives, and it becomes.
I have him in my campaign. I want to have all of them. They haven't played, the characters haven't met any of them, but they're in my campaign too. But they're not in the current events, so to speak.
So let's go down to all right. So Greyhawk Dragons. Now we talked about a female Greyhawk Dragon on Sunday night, Hutna Mosk, right? With Theodane from the Circle of Eight. That was created by Roger Moore. We found out from scratch. She's a female Greyhawk Dragon who impersonates him and actually attends Circle of Eight meetings, if you can believe it. Really bizarre, really an interesting thing. But the big one is Estrella, the Grand Diva of the Royal Opera House.
Yep.
So
you had her in the first adventure I think I played in your campaign, or one
I did.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I also had her at Gary Con. I reran a Delve into the Lord's Tomb at Curtis, and Michael, did you play in that one? I know Greg did, Justinius did, and I know Brett did in that game. So and that was Estrella. She's right here in the Free Girl box set. And just a really cool character, super
Hmm.
powerful, but very
Yep.
flirtatious and flighty because she's been around for so long and just loves attention, and just is like one of those Tom Bombadil like characters.
Hmm.
I don't need to buy. There's other people that'll take care
But
of the dirty work, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of fun to have
yeah,
NPCs. They can both be helpful but annoying at the same time, kind of thing.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, like Tom
absolutely.
Bombadil could be silly, annoying, but still kind of useful in some sense.
Yes, and that's the way she is, and that's why I
Yeah.
have her. But she gave them
Hmm.
information that was needed.
Yeah.
A cool character there, so that would be another dragon for you. Two
Yeah.
female dragons we know of:
Hmm.
Greyhawks, Hutton and Mosk, and
I have a
Estrella. Good.
couple of more ones here.
Yeah, please.
I have a couple more ones. One that I named by and made the gender of, but I think it's kind of cool to mention that you can do. And that is I call her Rishnil, and she's a shadow dragon, an ancient shadow dragon
Oh,
that reside up in Drenghus in the Howling Hills.
yeah.
So there is an ancient shadow dragon up there, according to lore. I made her female, and I tied her into a shadow dragon that appeared first time when we had our return to the Temple of Elemental Evil. There was a
Very
shadow
cool.
dragon that resided in there, and the players they cast a charm spell, and they rolled 2020, and this is back in the second edition era, I think, and that meant that it was a critical success. So I had it that they actually made to charm her, and they fed her a bunch of I forgot what it was, but a bunch of recent kills, and gave her some prisoners, so they gave her happy, which was doubtful if it was actually good or not. But so
That's
they
okay.
bribed her and made her move out. So I had her. She moved back home to the Howling Hills, and there she took up residence in the Drenghus area, and she is and I called her Rishnil in my campaign. So
Awesome.
I set the gender and the name of it of her, but apart from that, there is a shadow dragon living up there. According to I Use the Evil, I think it's there's a in Dreng, who's one of these abandoned mines or caves or something up in the Howling Hills. And then we have one other that is from the Marklands, and that is Aruma of Grandwood, a gold dragon, a ranger from Grandwood that is mentioned and
Nice.
named in the books. So those are a couple
Is
of
she on your
dragon.
map?
No, she's not, because she doesn't have a permanent lair. She's
Oh,
actually
okay.
roaming around in Grandwood and act as a ranger. She's a young gold dragon, so I don't think
That's a
she
great
has
one.
put. Yeah, so she's mentioned in, I think, in the Marklands, or even the Undying, or both maybe. Yeah, so she's set there.
That's
So
a
so those are,
fantastic one, and I
yeah,
completely,
yep,
that's
hmm,
a real
yep.
good one.
So those are a couple of cool when it comes to dragons that you can use in your campaign. That kind of ends the my list of dragons.
Female dragons, famous,
Yep.
yes, and there's
Hmm.
a lot of them,
Oh yeah. Yep. Hmm.
which is pretty cool. All
Yep.
right, let's just let's just do some circle of eight then, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I always use
Definitely.
this picture. People go, one of these is a PC from the camp from Dungeon Master's campaign. That's this character here, Laura Lee. But you have right here. That is actually probably the best looking picture of Jalarzi there is.
Yep.
And
Hmm.
here's Mariel back here, and here's
And her
Otto.
daughter.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So
Cool one. Yep.
yeah. So Anna smiles when she says dragon. Yeah, Chet. She smiles a lot when the word
Yes.
dragon.
Oh, I love dragons. Yep. Hmm.
And if you love dragons, watch tomorrow night's finale to the adventure.
Oh. Hmm.
From it's if you don't know what I'm talking about, Noldare, Dungeon 13, then you go, yeah. So it's pretty nasty. So that's
Too
too
skinny.
skinny to be Otto. Oh well, maybe he come on, Gary.
He's younger than or
Everyone
something.
is good looking in pictures for the most part. You know how it
Yep.
is. You
Hmm.
always, you always gotta look your best.
It's photoshopped.
Yeah, I must be wearing a corset. It's very possible.
Yeah.
But Jalarzi is in the Frisia Graph box set. In the Circle of Eight. Um, don't know. We still don't know officially who added Jalarzi. in. We've never been able to find that out. There's Fiona, by the
Was
way.
it Roger? It wasn't Roger
No,
Emore?
no, Rod. No, she was around in this, which was Doug
Oh,
Niles.
okay.
That's why I want to get
Ah,
Doug Niles on.
maybe it's Carl Sargent then
It's very
who
possible.
invented her. Yeah,
Fiorana Elastriel. There's the one
Mhm.
that Carlos was talking about.
Yeah.
As we scroll,
Because Sargent was one of the main instigators of that, or
yeah,
writers of that
but
period.
someone made the decision to create her, and
Yeah,
we just don't know. Let me go
it's
to
cool
page
though. Yeah.
16. It is. It's really cool. There's Jawal Severnane. If you've heard this
Hmm.
name, I'm going off on guys. Ed always mentions him too in when the adventures in my game. But here comes the Circle of Eight. She's the last. Now this is as of pre From the Ashes Wars, and it is really what's the word? What's is misogynist the right word? This discussion is really tough to read. Um,
Well, it might have
it,
not aged well.
It
Let's
may
see.
not have
Yeah.
aged well, but like in their talking here, Tensor is pushing her. She reversed Palor. I
Yeah.
forget which one says Tensor. She's a woman.
Yeah, but we have to, but
Yes,
even, yeah,
yeah,
we don't know if it's satire enough, but we have to read it from the time it was written to. We have to understand
exactly.
that things have advanced. So
And
yeah,
very charming, a lot younger than most of us. It's about time, in my opinion.
yeah,
Sometimes Morning Kane in this place gets like an old cooch drinking club. Exactly, Rob. You got
yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yep,
don't like this. No rare. He says she's wise and knowledgeable.
yep.
So there you
I
go. Morning
I
Kane.
think,
Yeah,
yeah, I think Gary has a good point that Sargent never met a name that didn't have 6 to 8 syllables. That
that's
might
true,
be
and that's
true.
a great point, Gary, to lead him
Yeah,
to believe that Carl Sargent created Jalarzi.
yeah,
Good point.
because the name is
Yeah.
very much Sargent-esque.
Wow.
Yeah. Hmm.
Great thought on that, Gary,
Yeah.
to pinpoint it. Oh, this is Free
This.
City Girl box set, the number
Yeah.
one publication
Folk
of all
feuds
time.
and factions, I think,
Yeah.
must be what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So note there are two books. All right. Just so we go back to the beginning here. The first book is Gem of the Flannis, and that's Doug Niles' book. Haven't had Doug on. About a year ago, we had on the second book, we had it was Rick Rose and Carl Sargent.
Yeah.
And I had Rick Rose on. Malden got him on, and it
Yep.
was a fantastic discussion because
Hmm.
Carl Sargent's passed.
Yep.
Uh, Curtis played in a game with Doug Niles at Gary Con, and we're attempting to get him on. So, okay. I think he is point in character. Some of us are chauvinistic. Nothing wrong with it. Yeah, exactly, Gary. I just
Yeah,
wanted
well,
to say
yeah,
that.
as long as
It's
it's
in
in game,
right.
it's perfectly fine with it.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
I think it's
absolutely.
good. Meaning, but he's, yeah. So a lot of things are good as long as it's in game, and if it's really bad, it needs to be depicted as evil. Then I'm good with it.
Right, and
Yeah.
I was being a little facetious there, Gary.
Oh
Of
yeah,
course,
but
like me
it's, yeah.
always.
It's good.
Note that Greyhawk has a lot of heroic females, a ton, going all the way
Yeah.
back, and
Hmm.
villainous females.
I was going to say I have two
Both.
examples of really villainous and important to the Greyhawk campaign
Let's do it.
and Radar, a pair, and this Halga and Althea.
Oh my
They are
God!
the
Yeah.
leaders of the couple of the leaders of the great
Oh,
of
you caught
IU's
me off
Greater
guard there. Let me
Boneheart.
see if I can do this quickly.
Yeah,
I have
yeah, I think
pictures.
they are worthy of a mention because they're some of the
Oh
most
yeah.
powerful female NPCs or
It may be on my other
female
computer.
characters in
All right,
Greyhawk.
so let me
Yep.
open up. I found the subfolder that they're in. Open.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
these are Dungeon Meisters. Open file.
Halga and
That's
Althea.
Althea. That's
Oh,
Althea.
there you go.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's Althea. That's Halga. Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with them. Halga, Halga. Evil, as chaotic evil as it comes, to be the top
Mhm.
two
Yep.
priests of Ayu's period.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. You're not surviving an encounter with them. I mean, but I think they're both
No.
18th level.
Yeah, I
16th
think
or
so.
18th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have them also as they don't rule. I have them as they are not the rulers of realms in IUs. They are IUs representatives that goes around making sure that the rulers of the realms are paying their dues to IUs and stuff like that. So they are his representatives. So yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, Dungeon Meister does some great work here on, and they're the only
Well,
two that are in the Greater Boneheart that are female.
yeah, these two are not my favorites when it comes to his work, so to speak. They
Okay,
they look like pinups too much to me. For me,
they
I
should
want
look even
them
more
to.
vicious and vile.
Not the way they look vicious. It's more like how they're dressed
Okay,
and they're portrayed as yeah.
this is
So
early
so
work
so.
of Dungeon Meister, by the
Oh,
way.
oh
It's
yeah,
very
but
early.
it's yeah. So it's not that I think it's bad work. It's
Yeah.
just that it's not my vision of them, so to
Okay,
speak. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
but it's really the only two pictures we have of
Oh,
them. Period.
exactly. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
a couple of Ken Frank sketches, I think,
Oh,
from
really? Oh,
L.
cool.
Yeah, Living Greyhawk Gazetteer. I think Helge and Althea are in there, if I
Oh,
remember
nice.
correctly. Yep, there is one that when they are doing Ayu's work, so to speak.
Very
So,
cool.
yeah, I think there is a sketch from Living Greyhawk. I'll see if I can find it here somewhere. Um, I think it's somewhere in the.
But I wouldn't want to come across them, and I have never put party members up against. Now I've put party
Exactly, me
members against
neither.
Boneheart
Yeah,
members one at a
yeah,
time, but
it's
not this
page
time.
60 in the Living Greyhawk Gazette here.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Well, I have it right
And
here.
that's Helga, not Althea, but Helga is there. She's standing in either she's the witch or she's the one on either side. You have Ayus on the bone throne torturing a pale Orient knight, and there is like a witch-like figure. But I assume that both of them have different shapes and forms. They can appear differently
Now the
as
other one's
needed.
Null. The other dude in the back is Archmage Null.
Okay, so then she's on the right, that
Yeah,
witch-like
yeah. She
figure on
looks
the
like she
right.
looks almost like
Yeah,
a green
which is
hag.
yeah, exactly.
Uh,
But I wouldn't be surprised if they can appear in different forms and
oh,
they
they have
can
change
be like,
self. That's an ability of a
yeah,
priest of
exactly. So
Ayus.
they
Yeah,
can look like hags or whatever you
yeah.
want them to look like, so to speak. So they can change their
Eyes the
forms.
Evil references where you want to go for any of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
Always
they're mentioned there
a
and been
great
statted out to
place.
some degree too. It's
Yeah,
first edition stats, I think,
second.
from second edition. Yep.
Let me just throw these up. Hopefully I don't crash. I got so many PDFs open.
Yeah.
But Eyes the Evil here, and there's a picture of Eyes on the
Yeah.
slot on the throne. But
Hmm.
once again, these are Sargent's masterpieces. Mark Lance and Eyes
Yes.
the Evil.
Yeah.
These
I
are the
like the names too, Helga and Althea.
yeah.
They sound old flan to me in some sense. So they're kind of
Yeah, I have to find where. Wait a minute. Let me
yeah.
see if I can find where the bone heart is in here. La 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 la. They're all the way in the back. I thought they were up front.
They're in the first bit. I think the
Yeah,
rules and stuff are in the end, if I
yeah.
remember
I could have
correctly.
sworn they were right here after the priesthood of Ayus, but I could be wrong.
Or maybe it's the other way
As
around.
I'm
So the
burnt out,
spells.
everyone, you understand, right?
Yeah.
It's been one of those weeks, and I'm glad I'm off the rest of the week here. All right, well, so great one, Anna.
Yeah, those are I think are now we're down in the really deep.
Well, we got plenty here, so
Oh yeah.
let's talk about. And I'll see if I can find this one. I think she's in the. Sharnalem is a knight of Furiandi, human with some elvish traits, and she is the one that breeds Tiergs, and right on the border of the raising line.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what? I'm being stupid here. Why don't I just bring up your map? Give me a sec. See
Yeah,
what happens when I'm not thinking. I'll crash the entire stream here, but who cares? Right, everyone. I have faith in my machine, my new powerhouse.
Oh yes, you.
I have faith. We have faith.
Yeah, that's good. Nagoya, yeah, she's the ruler of Molag, and Helge is in control of the Vesvi. Yep.
Quote unquote
Yep.
in control. Here's Castle El
Yep.
Nestra. This is where Sharnalem is, right here.
Yep.
Okay, and she's a knight. And she, the Tiergs, she has them guarding, and that is supposed to be. The rumor is that it never comes because the Crooked Rail undoes it, but when the raising line and all, there's the massive armies of Ayers is going to attack Castle El Nestra first. That's the plan.
Yep.
For that.
That's actually one of the reasons I made the map like that with the marshlands and stuff north of Crockport, because then you basically have to go through Tushem and the castle
Right, you
at
can't
Ernesto
bypass
guards
it.
that. Yeah, it needs
Great
to
point.
that guards the left
Okay.
flank, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of placed it in there and created. Yeah.
But a cool character that Carlos had mentioned before he left. Also, another one one of Carlos's favorites of all time. Let me see if I can. It's all the way down here, and that's I probably now won't be able to find her. It goes through, and we'll get to the Fellowship of the Torch. I'm saving for last, everyone, because I love them too. There's Estrella. It should be right coming up. There's it's right after these 3 stage characters, which are great too. Yeah, Krista. All right, this is Little Miss Streetwise. She's a little urchin. I know Carlos has used her in a lot of publications and discussions. She has Boots of Speed. This is when she first appeared. She was 12. Now she's a little older. And the last published source I saw her in was from the Ashes. But Carlos has really run with her. Loves the little discussion on her. Kind of has a Gord feel about her, but the female version.
Yeah.
So that's a neat thing. So that's where she is.
Yeah.
Right there. All right, Anna, if you want to keep, I have a couple. If you want me to go,
yeah, I have some. Yeah, I have some. Let me
go for it.
One, we have to mention one. I think she's a boring character in the way she's depicted, but she has great potential, and that's the Galadriel of Greyhawk, Yolande or Yolandi, or how you pronounce it, so to speak, of the Queen of Selene of all Elvendom. I think she's an important female character. She's not used much, and she seems to be kind of boring and introverted and stuff in the few descriptions and stuff we have of her. But I think it's something you can use way more of her, and you can develop her way more, so to speak. But I think Galadriel is probably the closest we get to old wise wizard kind of like figure that can have an interesting past, just like when you look at Galadriel from the Amazon series of last year. Then you can kind of I can come up with the cool old stories and stuff from Yolande in her younger years, so to speak, going on adventures and do all sorts of stuff that we don't know about, so to speak, when
because she's not adventuring during Tommy John Kelly's Hateful Wars even. She's really not adventuring.
No, but I have her as at least 1,500 years old. So her adventuring career was like 1,000 years ago or something like that. So yeah, so that was in long time ago, so to speak. But I'm want to write her story back in history, so to speak, and I think she can be useful in a lot of stuff, especially as a historic figure, and she can know things and stuff like that. So it's definitely someone I want to use in various, and I think she needs to be mentioned because she is one of the more powerful and influential female creatures in Greyhawk. So
I see, that's funny that you mentioned that, because I go back all the way to 1980 utilizing her, because once again, just her title was there, not her name or any of that stuff. And I always had her as younger, like 600, but finding her way still. That's the way I always imagined it.
I have her now as a gray elf, which means that she's fey, so she can kind of fade in and out as needed, and her real adventuring days in normal sense are long gone now. But she's very powerful, very wise, and has connections, really high connections, so to speak, and she becomes this kind of almost spiritual protective creature rather than a creature of flesh and blood still, so to speak.
I do have a relative of hers playing
Elphopos. That's
awesome.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, one of the new people playing in the campaign in the game for Saturday night. She's played once before, and that's a Little Bird's character. Lairgia is a cousin of hers or whatever, so a Vic Strolin member in my campaign. So that's a real good one, Anna. Really good one.
She needs to be mentioned, and I think there's a lot of development potential in her for every campaign.
Yeah, there's a lot of great directions to go with elves and
Yeah.
Selene and all the other things that are in the old kingdoms. There's wonderful directions you can go, just as long as they don't
Yeah.
fade away and go to Lendor Isle. Sorry, I had to
Mm-hmm.
mention that because I hate that. So yeah. Other
Oh
than
yeah, I don't
that,
like that bit either.
yeah,
It's too Tolkien-esque
yeah,
and it
exactly.
doesn't fit.
So
Yeah.
Tolkien-esque.
Yep. Yeah, I don't like that bit either. Yeah.
Curtis. Curtis,
Hello,
we just talked.
Curtis.
Curtis, we just talked about Estrella, who you
Yep.
met at GaryCon.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. Hey, no problem, Curtis. Real life goes on. Lots of fun stuff going on here. All right, so let me see who I got next. Well, someone who's up. How could I forget? There's a lot of baddies.
Yeah.
Let's do two of them. my main antithesis for the entire Hardby setting, who won basically in the battle, Judge Alida Norbalos, right? Evil, works with the slavers for
Yeah.
her own purposes, power hungry, maybe next in line for despotrix.
Mm-hmm.
When Michael Baton took her on, he lost with his head cut off in public. Lots of fun things. So a really nasty character, but does stuff behind the scenes. Never gets her hands dirty. So why do Huronians keep getting killed in the Shieldlands area? Because where else would they die?
I was going to say in my campaign they do because they're fighting with IUs in the Shieldlands to a large degree. So yeah.
Yep. And I have
Yep.
Fultians in there too now. My campaign, a lot of Fultian settlers
Oh
have
yeah,
moved into
same here.
Shieldlands are very
Yeah,
fertile.
Fultians, Heronians, Mayaheen, some Cuthberts, Rao, and stuff are the big religions in my Shieldlands.
Now another one that I know Anna likes, and that someone in chat mentioned. Oh, here they are. Here's Althea. So they're 18th level.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Althea and
Yep.
Helga.
Yep.
They're in the back.
Yeah, I have them even advanced a little bit, and so they're probably 19th, 20th level, and they're now moved beyond ruling provinces, and are now roaming to make sure that they are the ones that holds all the provincial rulers responsible, so to speak, and that's where they moved up to. Yeah.
One of only two of the free Reavers mentioned, right, in that
I was just
lance.
going to say, oh,
Sharon.
awesome. Yes, please.
Sharon Valinar.
Yes.
Chaotic
Yep,
evil and hates the Iusians, or
oh yeah.
gives them no time of day, but does not.
She's
really,
a fantastic character.
Yeah.
I have her on. She's in the fringes in my current Shieldlands campaign, and I really like her a lot. She's really cool.
So much so that I asked Anna to extend their lands in my game, and
Yep.
and they're the Free Reavers lands.
Yep. Yep.
In mine for Shieldlands, and yes, so I think in third edition someone came up with Ravagers based on them, but I can't prove that. Ravagers are so nuts.
Yeah.
And plus there's an inherent flaw in the whole way that you become one. But other than that, the Free Reavers are a small group, and they they are beholden to no one, kind of like Mastrine. And
I'm starting to have them. My story was that during the rule of the Great Kingdom, they were secret agents of the Great Kingdom. They were one of their mercenaries that they hired to murder and do mayhem behind enemy lines, and that was and they were not loyal in that sense. They were just taking money and doing mayhem and stuff, and they were really they were equipped and so on from the Great Kingdom. And then they became, when the Great Kingdom kind of fell apart and disappeared, they became more independent kind of warlords up there, so to speak, that did it. But they were in that's what I'm playing with. I haven't nailed down, but those are ideas for their how they get started, so to speak, and rose to infamy
a lot of
up
power.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's nice to have someone who you don't mess with up there. And like I said, she's as of this publication, she's 14th level fighter.
Yeah.
with all sorts of great stuff. Hours of slaying
Yep.
good line priests, hours of
Yep.
saying evil line priests. I mean, just crazy
Yeah, and
stuff.
she seems to be principled, neutral, evil, not principled at all. More than
Yeah.
she wants the goodies, and she's willing to kill anyone or anything for
Yes,
it.
whatever gets in her
Yeah.
way, she takes
Mm-hmm.
out. That
Yep.
Sharon smile, which is a
Yep.
throat cut from ear to
Mm-hmm.
ear. And let me
Yep.
see who else I have in my picks here that I haven't discussed. So I got some other obscure ones, but they're not really obscure. I love this one. I love this one.
Ooh,
This
let's see.
character here, and this is from Slavers. I really like her, and it's Fina Finkella. So
Okay.
she's in the Slavers reference. Let me get that out. Let me get that up here. She is a priest of Kellenin, priestess, which is one of the
Oh.
yes. So there's a priestess of Kellenin, and her traveling companion is a priest of Merlin, the dwarf. And they are out in the Pomarge uh, because and she is of neutral alignment, but the thought is, well, I don't know what page she's on specifically. The balance is going way too far in the other direction. There's another one too. We'll
Yeah.
get to. Yeah, Pyra. I thought she was here. I am sorry. Davis's compound. It's got to be north of this. There she is. Okay. So this is a whole. This is how great Wayne Reynolds' pictures are. This is the
Yeah.
entire
Mm-hmm.
adventuring group. Every character is in this picture. So which makes it wonderful. But yeah, so this is where they added, especially priests of Merlin and Kellen are in this book, and she's the mentioned Kellen priest and fights with swords, and pretty nasty. As of this, she's 7th level, but a really cool character. Just because she's neutral doesn't mean she's just ignoring all that's going on around her. So eternal love for what's WR there, Nagoya
Wayne
Jones.
Reynolds.
Wayne, oh my God, jeez, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, another picture I would love to have the original print on this. I mean, you got the Rangers in the background, the fighters. You even have the Iron Stone above the fighter mage.
Yeah.
Just a
Cool.
you got the gnome here. I would see halfway, I forget, and then a couple doors, and here's the priest of Merlin right here. Just great picture. Yeah, I know you can make a print, Nagoya Joe, and you have, but something about having the original. Yeah, but so that's Fina Finkella. Let me scroll down also to Pyra. Pyra is a priestess of the Earth Dragon. I like the description on her, and she is there. Okay, she is with Davis the Reaver, and gosh, I forget his name. He's the Myrmidon fighter. Rourke the Taskmaster. So that's Pyra right there. And here she is right here, page 77 of Slavers, 10th level priestess of the Earth Dragon. Stunning woman with wild red hair, ivory skin, and smoldering eyes, rebuffed the advances of many men over the years, preferring to divert herself to the Earth Dragon. There's dedication for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Once again, evil. Very evil. Lawful evil, though.
Yeah.
And is powerful in that Earth Dragon cult. And does a lot of. I think this is Elred, if I recall, that she's based out of. I'm almost positive. Yep, it's Elred because that was overtaken, and that's where Rurik is neutral but trains all the orphans in the spear fighting style. So yeah, another cool one out of this book, definitely. All right. All right, Anna, what do we got here in the last?
I have another one that is probably one of the most powerful female characters or things or monsters or whatever you want to say in the whole of Greyhawk. She's a goddess, and she is depicted in the original drawings as probably the most ugly creature ever. And then when Wizard of the Coast made a model 3D, had an artist make a 3D model of her, then she became super cool, highly charismatic, and to my surprise, beautiful. And I never thought that would happen at all. And the only one who originally found her attractive was Ayus. And if
Zuckboy.
anyone doesn't know who I'm talking about Zuchtmoy.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of cool. We have to, when we talk about female character, we have to mention Zuchtmoy. She is kind of cool, off the weird and wonderful in and tied into history in a lot of ways. And if you want to kind of listen to her a little bit and read in detail, the Gord books is really cool, because there she actually comes to life in a little bit, in a few scenes here and there. And the Wizard of the Coast, if you Google Zuchtmoy and look at the pictures, you can probably find some of these awesome looking pictures of. They made a beautiful model. I forgot
Here's a
who
good
the
one.
artist. That's the ugly old picture of Zuchtmoy, and I thought that was the ugliest creature ever, and I didn't like Zuchtmoy at all. And then I saw the models. They made 3D models of Zuchtmoy, and all of a sudden she was beautiful, gorgeous, awesome, and she became super interesting. And now she's playing a part even in this campaign I'm using. And for me, in my campaign, she's one of the old Flan cult. They're old Flan cultists of Zuchtmoy. That's why it was her temple of elemental evil. She built it and ran it as a way of getting Ayus back, so to speak. So,
It's an
and she's
interesting
one of the
concept.
few old Flan
What's
deities
that,
that have
Curtis?
stayed loyal to Ayus after the debacle with the Horn Society and stuff. So yeah.
What's that, Curtis? The Juggernaut.
Oh yeah, the court. Yeah.
My favorite Juggernaut picture of
Oh
all
yeah,
time.
it's a
Right
cool.
after
Yeah,
that.
that's a cool one
Oh
too.
my
So
gosh,
yeah.
yeah, that was
But
awesome.
it's interesting to see that
Can't
how you
cross.
can depict. So I hope
Yeah,
you can. Let's see if I can find a reference to one of the
I've
pictures.
seen
The
it, but I don't
beautiful.
have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Let's see.
Temple of Mental Evil, not the return. Everyone, don't ever say that. I did that April Fool's joke, and that was enough. So, all right, flop that, pop that out there. Let's go here. So, the
Yeah,
return.
here I found a link to a story where you have a little YouTube video and
Put it
stuff
in
with the.
Discord, Anna, and I'll risk it
Oh,
there.
okay. I just put it in chat in the Twitch chat here. So yeah.
Oh, you put it in the Twitch chat. Oh, cool. Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I can open it up on my laptop. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah.
All
I
right,
just
cool.
put it in there so
I
people can look
won't
at
be
it.
able to put it up.
That Zuckmoy, the Queen of Fungi.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
and that model to me is beautiful. That is real good artwork. It's fantastic. They took that bumbly, boring looking piece of clay and made it into something that both looks fungal and cool and powerful and all that. So yeah.
That's a interesting.
Mhm.
Make
Yeah.
Hey, sex sells. We all know that, right? So it's a. Have you played the community? I played it a little bit, Barry, but here's the problem with that. It was extremely buggy if you remember when it first came out. The Temple of Mental Evil computer game. It was really so. I got me frustrated. If I recall, it came out right after Baldur's Gate 2, and then the Baldur's Gate 2 add-on came out. And I hate to say it, but that was so much better. I played the hell out of that. So I kind of threw it to the wayside, never finished it because of all the bug issues. There was
Yeah.
a lot of them in that game. Was it 2004? Wow, I thought it was earlier than that.
I think it was that old. Yeah.
Yeah,
I never played
no.
it really
Baldur's Gate
at
2
all.
was like
Yeah.
98, 97, 98. Not really, range. But yeah, um, really cool. Hey, what's up there, Chad? All right, where am I going next? Legends. Now, you may not say that these are legends in your game, but they're legends in my game. Absolutely legends that are published here, if I can find them. Because, now I'm going to have to go. Shape Changers group. Look at this there, Curtis. Does this sound familiar? Cult of the Shriven Sickle. Oh, you know what? It would help if I was on that screen. Yeah, so they fought the Cult of the Shriven Sickle with a Juggernaut in it at Gary and Estrella, all in that one adventure. Yep, at Gary Con. So Baker, I got you at the end here. I'll take care of you for that. So let me flow up here, and we'll get to. Oh, there's Old Mother Grubs. That was another mention. There's Old Mother. Old Mother Grubs, wonderful, wonderful woman. Really not a woman, a vampire. So there you go. Here's another female, Capricia Molara, uh, assassin from the Assassin's Guild in Greyhawk. Now they say in this one they were out of the assassin era and they put fighter down, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But we know what it means. Yeah.
You guys kicked their ass, Curtis, for the most part. You kicked their butts in that adventure. And the dumb priest in the role was the one that let the Juggernaut out, which was hysterical. So, also this one appeared. This character appeared in that adventure. This is Sharon of Curel, the one who tried to tempt you, Curtis. Another female. So she's a worshiper of Curel. She's a priest thief, multi-class, clerk thief. And oh my God, I better be careful. I'm going to kick my cord out. Another evil one. And she works on behalf of Old Mother Grubs. So that's another character, another female in this Free City Grub box set. He took it. Oh, Troy, that's wrong. Oh, they didn't take a knee. They just they had it was rough for them. It was very, very. They had a tough time of it. Oh, that's not nice. Come on, you can't win 2 years in a row. Has anyone ever won 2 years in a row? I don't know if they have. There's entertainment. It's got to be after this. You know, that's the thing. I find stuff and then I lose it. Oh, here we go. All right. Fellowship of the Torch. One of the first times besides the Citadel of 8, and that really wasn't published at this time, right? That was maybe in talk and stuff. They never really published stuff on it. So there's some stuff in the Earth Journal on it. But this is actually the first time you see a published adventuring party that's like, freebooter style. And I just love, there are 2 women in here. One of the, Nastasia Ariane Nightstar. She's a dual class human. Little tinge of elven blood in her. She has the Torch of Anaxander, which is the first scalable magic item that I ever remember in D&D or Greyhawk, because it gets more powerful as she does. And and I've raised up their levels too. And also, then you have a multi-class magic user priest, Kellarian Alavas. She's another character. And a third one, Marie Senfort, an illusionist. So you have a full 3 of the 5 members of the Fellowship of the Torch, and it's a good aligned adventuring group. Let me go to my. Let me just put up Torch, and it should come up, and I can throw it up there. There we go. Yep. And here's the roster for them in my game. So there are levels of them currently. And Grimmy Fisher gets killed from the ashes. I undo that. They resurrect them in my game. So. Very cool. I'll usually be brave enough to do. Hey, I don't have time to do it. Although, you know why Curtis and Brett and them lost? I volunteered to join their group, but they said that no one dropped. So I guess that was it. If they had a sick me, maybe would have gotten in 3rd instead of 4th. But the best. Ian World Threads. It says Anna.
That's a lot of good, even better French? Pictures of. Yeah, she's French. The artist is French.
Oh,
I found
okay.
That's the link I wanted to find.
Nice. That's a great link.
Yeah.
And they're turning it into a regular size figure.
She's like probably about a foot or 2 feet.
It should be easy to take, but see, the problem is the rights of the artist to take pictures of that and turn it.
I think I don't know exactly. They probably did it for some special reason, but I love that sculpture. It's awesome. Yeah.
So. Which Kids is making? They must have bought the rights to do that. That's cool, Barry. Thank you. So there's three more great females in here. One's a gray elf. And 2 of them are human females.
And Gary took one from my list that I haven't talked about yet that I wanted to mention.
Okay, let's go for it.
I think he's the creator, and that's Lady Lorana Cath, one of the Death Knights.
Oh, nice.
Really cool, Hextorian priestess, and she is really
where's she
nasty.
Noted?
She's noted in the Dragon article about the Death Knights from I forgot which. Hang on a second. Okay. Gary knows. He can probably put in chat.
Anyone
which
puts
number
it up there, I'll throw that dragon up.
Yeah,
I can do that. I don't need a reason.
Yeah, it's in one of the.
You can tell me the Dragon magazine, that Death Knight article is in. I will bring up that article pretty easily. so we can look at it.
I can look
Whiz
search here
Kids
for.
me. All right, so that's cool. Dragon 290 and 291.
Okay, thank
All right,
you.
I'll do
Yep.
which one is she in? You're not sure, Gary, if it's 290 or 291? I got 291 right here. Let me see. I got it right here. Elminster's Guide. I'm looking for the page. 90, got it. Lots of great stuff in these.
Yep.
I go too
And
far.
there's some good art of her too. So yeah.
No, I didn't go too far. No. And there's I'm assuming that's a Demogorgon. I wonder who did that artwork, Gary. You have any idea? For Demogorgon, that's pretty cool looking.
Yep.
First memory. Twitchy Shuckle, thank you for that insight there. Really appreciate it. Feel free, if you're participating, please hang out. You know, we're always here. Greyhawk community.
Yeah.
Please feel free to give us a follow too. There's a lot of other, we have a whole community of streamers right there at Greyhawk Creatives. All right, so let's see what we got here. Demogorgon's Champions. Sir Kogoth. We've used this picture before.
Mm-hmm.
Lord
Yep.
Munch.
She's on page 94.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
Lady Lorana Cath
Oh,
of
there's a picture of her
Naelax.
too. Nice.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Really
Yeah,
debauched, horrible. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yep.
Of Naelix. So she's from House Naelix. All right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So thank you.
CR 19 and female human death knight, 16th level cleric of Hextor. So she's not to play around with lately.
Twitchy, if it's late there, just note everything goes on my YouTube mirror. It's Lord Gazamba with a space right there, so you can always just get these after, and they stay on Twitch for 90 days. So you have two options. And really appreciate the support. By the way, everyone, if you see, they did another purge. I was 24 away, and I lost 100 followers. It never ends. It's like they know. They don't want me getting to 10,000.
Yeah, they can. You have to really earn it. Yep.
I'm earning it this time. Wow. All right. So what's her backstory?
She was a cleric of Hextor.
The only staff member of Kargoth's infernal company is possibly its cruelest and most debauched personages. Lady Cath was a vile schemer, whispered veiled treason to Lord Kargoth for years and encouraged the descent into darkness. Huh.
Yep. She seems to be more vile than the regular Hextorians. She seems to be way worse than that.
Yeah, I'll say.
Mm-hmm. I think she seems to be more of a Demogorgon follower than Hextorian, to be honest.
It looks like she was a instrumental in creating the Animus in this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. She's one of the, and I think she still has a hold in the North Kingdom even after even the Undying. I think she was still in there, so or something. I'm not sure, but she's depicted it up there, and yeah, she's a really cool character to bring in. If you want a really debauched, kind of nasty something, you can bring out Lady Cath. Yep.
So Justinius, I'll give you my order. Greyhawk reference things. Number 1, Free Secret box set. Okay, all time for me. 2, 1A is 2A, 2B. Eyes of Evil and Marklands. You need both of them. Okay, so yes.
And the Living Greyhawk Gazetteer. You need one too.
Mm-hmm. That's This is a general campaign setting. I put it on the same level as glossography and all this. I'm talking.
Yeah.
The third is I Love the Slavers reference too. So.
Yep.
Just to give you an idea. Okay.
Yeah, and
awesome.
So this is fantastic.
How about Michael? See, that one I have no idea about. Lotakai the Caretaker, Silent One, Living Greyhawk number 4. I mean,
I had no idea about
number
that.
4.
Yeah, I had no idea.
She's on the cover. All right, let me see.
Okay, cool. That's a new one.
I got to close some of these out. I'm trying to see which ones I'm not going to use. I'm not going to use
LG's Journal. So let's see here.
I have it. Number 4, Living Greyhawk Journal Gazette. Let me get it up. That didn't sound good.
Okay.
Oh,
It
that's
looks
okay. I guess that's her on the
looks
cover,
very
huh?
nice. Yeah, it looks very nice. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Gary, I saw that. That was pretty cool. What page, Michael, did you say she in? Instead of me scrolling through here trying to find. Whose artwork is
And
this?
there's a cool map on page 15 of the Silent Tower. I missed that one. Oh, this is so cool. Yeah.
There's a lot. Remember we went through all these and there were some
Oh
great
yeah,
tidbits.
I need to silent ones prestige
Oh,
class
here's
and
Silent
three silent
Society.
ones. Yeah,
Seek.
she's on page 22.
Okay, here's enemies and
Laura Cal,
summons.
the
Okay,
caretaker.
22.
Bard 10 and silent 1 15.
Okay. Oh, there she is again. Here she is. Another picture.
Oh yeah. Was that silent 1 5? I guess so. It's Bard 10, silent 1 5. So
Yeah,
yeah,
prestige class, right?
yeah, or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So very cool. Awesome. Yeah, that is a cool article.
Yep. Thank you.
So among those, just
Finding that one.
I'm reading as we source of someone's. So nice. Does she occasionally covers with those who seek for? She selling less. Does she? All right. That is not. That's a good one, Michael. Good catch. So
Yep.
I
Definitely.
would have not brought it up. So
No, me neither. It was not on my
oh,
list.
there's
So
Eli
yeah.
Tomaros. The Vermilion Queen. Is that a woman too? Another one I don't know. Silent Tower. All right. Excellent. Sam and I are working on a massive Vecna project. Touch on the song. Good. Awesome, Gary. Projects are a great thing, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see here at 9:30. I think I tapped out on all the ones I planned on doing.
I have one that we mentioned, but I
I
think
have
it's
some of my
worth
okay.
mentioning a little bit more, and that's Evely. And the reason I want to mention her is that because I think she originally appears in the Gord books. That's where I think she had her first in the Saga of Old City, and Gord falls headlessly when she's actually a hostage. At was it the at Neural, I think, or some no, she's a hostage in or in Stoic, I think, and that's where
Oh,
he, I think so. Yeah, someone correct me in chat, but I think it was in Stoic. She was a hostage of the Lord of Stoic, and Gord decided to free her, and then he get involved in all sorts of political machinations, and Lord Geller helps him straighten it out, and finally, so once he done it, when he returns her, he gets locked up in the count of Neurals, or the Lord of the oh, hang on a second, Baron Dunstan of hang on a second, now I'm blabbering here, so let me hang on a second here. The Bleemu Hills, that's where the so in Bleemu Castle, so we get holed up there and stuff. But the interesting thing I think with Evely is that Gary paints a horribly boring one-dimensional portrait of her, and really just as some sort of a thing for to focus on Gord's affections, and that is she's kind of really completely boring and in the books. But then comes afterwards, she has this interesting political career. She becomes the Archbaroness of Vratic eventually and stuff, and she get tangled into politics. So then I think she's just like Yulend.
okay.
She is underrated, underdeveloped, I would say, underdeveloped. She can have a lot more TLC, and she can turn into an interesting character. And since she has an interesting story, she's grounded in the setting and stuff. It's just that her Gary's portrait of her is kind of really underwhelming, to my opinion. It's barely nothing, but I can understand Gary's purpose with her as a focus of for Gord's adventuring and stuff. And I like the intrigue, how it's played out. I really like the fact that Gord is kind of thinking he's doing the right thing, and in some ways he's doing it, and he still gets punished for it. I think that's really cool. That's good to hear, Justinius. That's good to hear, because I think she got some love and some more write-ups, and she Became Archbaroness and stuff, and so it's kind of cool. So yeah. Yep, that's good, Gary. So I think she deserves some mentioning here as someone who has a fair bit of content written about her, more than most others, and some of it is not that good, but it's kind of, but it's still, she's still important, and she deserves better, I think. So yeah, it's good.
So Gary, if I don't know if you're on with Roger Moore on, but he specifically stated Warren and Starco got on the circle because of the Crooker Rail, because of recovering the Crooker Rail.
Okay,
that's what Roger said. We had a discussion on Sunday, and that was the one who he didn't have to make up, and he made up Almazad and Theodane. So yeah, that was a really great discussion. We learned a lot that night. So Word of Nat Marsh, right? A female sorcerer is a great power in the Nat Marsh. Yeah, Roger suggested that. That's great. That's great.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, because he did mention Eric a lot. That Eric really helped him out when he needed advice, which is really cool. Really, really neat that happened. So, all right, here's one for my campaign. Now, when I first started streaming, I have a character named Shannon Maynham. Now, Maynham's one of the 6 proper names of Hardby. Turns out that sometimes those people are bad seeds, and she is a pirate roaming the Woolly Bay. I don't own the rights to this artwork. I need to get a portrait. I haven't done a portrait. Her nickname is the Knuckle Paler. Why do they call her that? Because I always thought of the Starship Troopers when the guy puts his hand up on the. She loves putting putting the bastilards and daggers right through your knuckles, not through the fleshy part, but yes. So a bad character, dual class human.
Yep.
Fighter mage. So yeah, absolutely, of course, because you can't have hideous looking pirates. Because if you notice, all those miniatures that are pirates are all haphazard, happy-go-lucky females that look. Yeah, so put your hand on the wall. Exactly. That's always what I thought about this character. Last time I ran her an adventure was it was like 5 years ago. She's an NPC, and she fled out of the Woolly Bay and into to harass the shipping lanes around the southern Principality of Ulick, and that was the last time they had seen her. So just note. Cool, the Witch School, mentioned by Scott Benny in his Legendary Saints article. A female follower of Orcus who was defeated by Saint Bane. Yes, a really good one, Gary. Is a really good one. Because there's not much besides what is in that article. But once again, Kargoth was in that article, and look what happened with that. The Death Knights came out of all that. So, yep, absolutely.
You had one from your campaign, you said.
Yeah, that was her. That was Shannon Maynham, the Knuckle Paler. Yeah.
Oh, cool. That was her. Yeah. Yep.
Now, a couple other ones I use.
Yeah.
Are I have a lot of Knights of the Holy Shielding and characters that are published source. So Ironmed Lemond Ironmed, she is a priestess of Heronius, Knight of the Holy Shielding. She's from the Living Greyhawk article. I also have these two. They are both from Bastion of Faith, and they're at the Citadel, right? The Citadel Reclaimed. Of course, they're all extremely attractive. Mother Phala, I'm sorry, that's Mother Annan, and then Mother Phala. They're both, like I said, these are right out of Bastion of Faith by Bruce Cordell, and we know that Eric Boyd did a lot of them. So I have those right in there as well in my campaign that are published source. Now the other character, Knuckle Paler, that's my
that you invention. Really cool invention.
Did the Druid Reynard get mentioned? No, did not.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
No mystery. Did not. Because where is she? I probably should know.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I should know too, but yeah.
Boyd has a type. Obviously, Eric Boyd has a type. Yep.
Yeah.
So I've gone through every
Yeah, I
single
had one
picture.
more on my list, and that's another one that I made up for
Oh,
my
there's one
current
more.
campaign. Yeah, it's a current campaign, and that is Shagla. She is a Jebli, meaning hobgoblin shaman, and she is the lover and mistress and God knows what of Glushnag the Mighty of Gensal. So
Oh,
she's a hobgoblin witch, and she knows arcane spell casting and some other tricks and stuff. And she's a mean thing, but she loves Glushnag, and she's very, very smart. So she whispers in the ear and makes him smarter and wiser. And that means that she can climb up. And the characters have only met her once, and they ran away so quickly that I never get a chance to introduce them to her. But she might come in handy again, and she's one of these interesting. I've developed her so she knows arcane spell casting, and she's has some almost barbarian features as well. She has a lot high hit dice, and she can defend herself even close up if need be, so to speak. But she's devious and smart, high intelligence, high wisdom, and high constitution, and so those are her main traits, so to speak. And she's the equivalent of she's a challenge rating 10, so she's a powerful character in her own right, so to speak. So she's getting up there. And I wanted to have and she's as beautiful as hobgoblins can be, so to speak.
nice.
So she's not, I wouldn't say beautiful, but she has charm and charisma, and she has a shaved head, and so just like her Glushnag, and she wears her scarifications with pride, and tattoos and stuff. So I'm going to use the horrible tool Midjourney to see if I can get a decent portrait out of her. So yeah, we'll see for my campaign. Yeah.
So Gary mentioned one, and then that brought up another one to my brain.
Yeah.
So and he mentioned let me scroll up here. Lady Rowena, the Marshal of Vespi. That's a good one.
Oh,
All right.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I have here Matriarch Serendia, who's a priestess of Alana and a 14th level ranger. She is also the head of the Swan Maze. Okay. So that's one good. Now some that I missed because there is no picture of her. I do have a portrait in Portrait Workshop, and that is, of course, my favorite Bladestorm character, who should be down here and if they're in this section here. Bladestorm. I use this character a lot, right? Because she is a Tritharian priestess slash ranger, a member of the Narwhal Headhunters, so I interact with her a lot, sends them on missions, and a really nasty, nasty character, and that is
Yeah.
there too. Anna of Krakenheim, the famous cartographer from the Snow Barbarians, produced
It's too
legendary
cold
notes
for
and
me. I
finds
don't
another living
stay up
with it.
there.
Wow,
Yeah, I would need to go to a warmer place. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that's funny, Troy. Very ironic. um,
Yeah.
one we missed, one I missed, and one
Uh-oh.
I figured out a way to bring back, and I will do that probably in 2024. Okay? Because I like to reminisce because I'm old and stupid. Drelsna, right?
Yeah. Oh, I thought we mentioned her. Oh, yeah, she was on
We
my
never even
list too
mentioned her.
because
Yeah.
she's really cool. And then that means that I have a couple of others like we can mention in. Yeah. So please, yeah, she's awesome. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and some great artwork. I mean, this is one of the best pieces of artwork ever. And this
Yep.
is in Shokan.
Mm-hmm.
Elaine Mystica, the Lalara, big character, very powerful. So she's underground there. Yeah, this is the most epic image ever, I think. Number
Mm-hmm.
one, and easily. Wow, it's just beautiful. So
And very early, easily, I think.
very early, easily. Yeah.
Yep.
hmm Yeah. So, but I figured it out what I want to do. Because when you don't adventure in places for decades, my guys like to reminisce a bit. And note we're doing that. Well, I'll announce at the end of the show. Like sooner or later, I'm going to tell you what adventure I'm doing.
But we need to mention more about Drells now.
Drelsna, yes.
Yeah, because she's like a human fighter and then a vampire, and she is the daughter of Igvolv and the half sister of Ayus, which
Right,
makes
because
her
we don't know who her father is.
Exactly. So it means that she's really grounded into Greyhawk lore and the
Absolutely.
setting, which makes her really cool in that sense. That she's yeah.
One of two characters I shouldn't have killed off in the adventure: Lareth the Beautiful and Drelzna. They're the two
Hmm.
that
Yep.
I've always regretted.
But she's a vampire, so you can take the stake out and she can come back.
Right.
Yeah.
I figured out. I figured out an
Yeah.
idea to do it,
Hmm.
kind of like what happens in Buffy Angel episode. I always steal from. It's sad because Josh Whedon steals so much from D&D, and I steal stuff back.
Yeah.
So thank you there, Bash. Good to see you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hope everything's going well for you. But
High stakes. Yeah.
yeah. Jules is a great cat. Was a great character concept.
Yeah.
And Dolly Parton wants us to mention Jolene of Aluna. Yeah, yeah. I'm typing something in. All right, so Jolene is mentioned in I have them getting married, right? Thrommel and Jolene, not the living Thrommel and Jolene, but the merger not happening. So I didn't like that whole idea, but Archdruid and Moron, I cannot remember where she's from. Ruled the druids of the Adri. Interesting fuzz. Lots of them out there.
Imunara, yeah. She was. I've contemplated her, but I forgot to put her on my list. It's kind of cool. But when it comes to Drelsna and El Clavdra and I introduced another character, one of and Gerast and El Clavdra's love child, Zestra, that you used in one of your campaigns too. Yep.
I've used
so
her.
I introduced a half sister, a drow Cambion half sister of Ayuz. That is
I like her. Yeah, because she's kind of character neutral.
Yes, well, kind of. Yeah, she's not particularly evil. She's in my campaign. She's brought up by Lord Vuron, and to be his eyes and ears, and also Lord Vuron's hit person, so to speak. So she's very much someone who spies for Lord Vuron and who brings in intelligence and who backstabs and kills whoever is needed, so to speak. And she's a very powerful. She's been around for a few hundred years, and she is a very, very powerful Cambion, drow Cambion. So she's a demonic drow with 6 fingers, just like her dad. And
she's more. You told me she was more like a bounty hunter almost.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
And that's why I had her.
So she serves her dad more than her mother or any of that, so to speak. She's loyal to Lord Vuron, and she's much more curious than she's evil. But she can be completely ruthless if need be, but she doesn't. It doesn't make her happy, so to speak. But if need be, she has no qualms about doing whatever is needed. But she's not the one going around doing it because she's not lusting to kill, but she's very effective.
She'll kill if she needs to.
Oh yeah, definitely if she needs to, in whatever manner possible. So either lawful neutral, chaotic neutral, or true neutral in that sense, so to speak. And she's more curious than evil, but she has no qualms about torturing almost if that's needed too. So she's very roomy alignment, so to speak, and she's very much someone. And occasionally she can do things for money or something like that too, or for information and stuff too. So
she doesn't kill for pleasure.
No, exactly. She doesn't kill for pleasure. No.
Yeah.
But she kills for political gain and for purpose. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And she can be hired. Occasionally, she can work for other factions, mostly because she wants in and find things out. And she also follows her mentors, so to speak, agenda and Lord Vuron's secret thing, so to speak. So, and she's a very accomplished both fighter, and she also have divine magic and a lot of fighting and stealth abilities in my social. So Vuron gives her spells and magic, and then she has fighting and stealthy abilities that are really, really high.
I either have her as a fighter assassin or a fighter thief. I forget which one.
Yeah, that could work. Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
I have her stats in one of my books. I just
I added, so she has divine magic too. That Lord Vuron gives her divine magic as on top of
abilities,
it as well.
like daily use abilities, which is cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's all cool, Dark Elf. It's all good.
Yep.
So Yes, that was sorry Mike couldn't be here. We had Carlos on for a bit, and
Yep.
which is great to get him on. Really appreciated everyone. This is like you said, this is a 4 stream and 5 night week. So we do have a special event on Thursday. I mean on Saturday. So Anna, what's going on with you here? We got anything to
I just
share?
posted today on my Patreon
Yes.
blog a post to my mid-tier patrons about I'm setting up house rules. I'm house ruling, basically making a heavily house ruled 5e version for my campaign going forward. So I listed the goals for my house rules, how I want to tweak 5e in order to suit my campaign, and so I listed the goals and a few of the ideas I have for it, and then I will start listing each of individual little subsystems and how I will tweak things. And so that was the one I did today, and then there's more thing on Worth coming out and more stuff too. So there's I'm pitching out an article every couple of days on stuff that I talked about briefly at my seminar at GaryCon. So now I'm going a little bit more in depth on each of the topics I covered there for the next couple of weeks. And
And
oh, sorry.
I was going to say, note, you're going to get a little more tidbits on Anna's rules on Sunday's Gab, and we'll talk about
Yeah.
that.
Yep. So and Friday there will be a mapping live stream. I hope
Oh, great.
that
So 5 straight
Linda
streams.
Linda
Good.
will be on Friday. I haven't verified with her yet, but no, what the heck? Then I'll do it myself because I need to sit down and do some mapping. It will probably be Photoshop work, maybe some World Machine. We'll see, and working on that. And that I think it's about it for this week when it comes to my stuff. Yeah.
A lot, though.
Yeah.
It's a good week. So consider it with Anna. So Friday, there's 5 streams and 5 nights for you to watch, which is
Yeah.
awesome. Tomorrow night, notice I changed the name slightly because I changed the adventure slightly. So it's called Ruins at Noldare. So the Ruins of Noldare. The Reborn Adventuring Group, they've gone through the upper level already. I cut out a lot of the dumb stuff. I'm not slogging them through Germ Lane all that, but you'll see. It's a little bit of a condensed version, but it's nasty. I put some pics up on all the posts on the boards today, and you probably have seen them. But yeah, that'll be tomorrow night. Now tomorrow night we didn't have a claimer of the Miniature Building Authority, so it's Reaper Miniatures plus a Miniature Building Authority $25 gift certificate giveaway tomorrow night. So I have both. That's funny. Gary, is that a joke or yes? I imagine that. Yeah.
It's a little bit too old for ChatGPT.
Yes,
Yeah.
but according to it was just a rehash, right? So that's Thursday, and then Saturday night is the. I'm scared, and I'm being
Uh-oh.
facetious.
And you're the one running the game. You shouldn't be
Yes.
scared.
So look at this crew. We had 5 of
Yeah.
these last time I ran them, and this time Bones wasn't there, but she's back. And I also added Myriad X in, and she did some great artwork. So I want to share this. This deserves sharing. So let me go to Portrait Workshop, my subfolder for it. So she has a special character. First time the adventure's set around this character. And here we go. There we go. Done. Yeah. Voda Borda is her
Oh,
name.
cool.
Okay. She is a half elf, half Rene class, and it's from Timothy Brannan's book. She's a witch thief. Going to be fun. And the adventure kind of sets around her character. You'll see a nice connection, but another half elf. There's not a single human in this adventuring group. Like there's 3 half elves, a gray elf, 2 dwarves, and a gnome. What a group! And so that's going to be a fun one and some great artwork there by Myriad, a brand new character to the campaign, and we'll just see who Darling's male gnome. There's 4 thieves in this group too. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. We'll see who the gnome hooks up with this week. It's called Chain Madness. If you know what that is, then you got it is what it is. So if you know what reference book that's from, or you know what, that's part of the adventure. So. And they will be in no Kenders. No, stop. No Kenders.
No Kenders. No Kenders and no Gully Dwarfs.
No
Yep.
Kenders, Gully Dwarfs. Yes, or Tinker Gnomes. Lastly, Gabbin on Sunday, and the reason that we're gonna add a guest or two to this, but DM's quirks and tricks. So Anna's new rules or what she's doing fits right into this. I'm gonna talk about some stuff I do that are little quirks and tricks as a DM to help you move your game along and give you some ideas that tweaking rules no matter what edition you're playing is not a bad thing. So we may have one or two guests to that discussion on Sunday because we don't have a special guest. Can't have a special monster guest every week. Everyone, you understand that. So teaser needs an update on them. Yes, teaser. Delaweth, what's that mean?
Oh, it's March 9th. It's April 9th. Yeah.
Oh, geez, yeah. Duh. That's what happens when you're rushing.
Yep.
It's April 9th. Sorry. Thank you. I will switch that. Once again, Saturday, June 3rd. I will get that ad out shortly. The 1000th adventure of the campaign. So just keep that in mind. Got some terrain, got some minis being made up for it, and
you have to have lots of snacks. And
yes, and we're starting around. It'll be 9 a.m. and we'll probably go through dinner time.
Yep.
On that adventure and run number 1000. So, yep, but it'll be fun. It'll be a blast. All right, let's do the giveaway. You get your choice here. Okay, if you're out of the country, we'll figure something out. All right. And we're gonna raid into Praetors. He's normally not on, but they got a game going on because I don't see anyone else running Greyhawk content right now. So we're gonna do that. All right, last call. Exclamation point drawing. Get in. Remember, if you don't have it, I'll give you treasures. Then your choice is something else. If you do have treasures, it's okay. We'll give you two of two. We'll discuss it of pick. All right, we're gonna close this out. See who wins. Like I said, we have Reaper and Miniature Building Authority giveaways tomorrow night. And we'll have Titan Dice giveaways on Saturday. So we are good to go here. All right, I'm going to close this out. The winner tonight, Caesar. Well, Caesar, I think you have treasures, so get with me. Get with me, Caesar, and we'll talk about what you want. Okay? I got some other stuff here, too. All right? I'll figure out something for you. Caesar's always a long-term viewer and follower and supporter. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Caesar, just get with me and we'll figure out what you want. Okay. Alrighty. Sounds good. Sounds good to someone was put that in chat. Note that Troller Games Chuck said there's going to be a giveaway every hour during the 1000th adventure. So I will get with him on that. Beware the eyes of. Anna, thanks for another great show. Carlos, thank you for coming on. It was a really wonderful. Mike, Greyhawk Mike, thank you for coming up with this topic. And sorry your schedule got changed so you couldn't participate.
Yep.
But note, I really appreciate you all, and let's keep the community rolling. See you tomorrow night. Then see Anna Friday night. I'll be back Saturday night. Anna, I'll be back Sunday night. So you got us all set through the week. Chet, if you're on Discord, I'm going to whisper you. I'll do it as I'm streaming out, where you can reach me on Discord so we can chat a little bit more. Chat. Sound good? Everyone have a good night. See you tomorrow night. I'm off till Monday. Oh, thank God.
Thank you.
Yes. Give me a second, Chet. Let me do the raid in, and then I'll whisper you. All right. Let me set the raid up. We're going to raid the Praetors. Please say hello. Thank you for all the follows. The wrong button. Whew. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you tomorrow night. Awesome. 89 going in. That's awesome.
Oh, wow. Yep. 89. That's good.